All right, guys, I want to show you what I worked on last week when my back just felt disgusting. I felt like I was coming down with something. It never came to a full blown illness, but it was enough to keep me from exercising, and I overall just felt fatigued. As a result, I was sitting a lot. I wasn't moving. I wasn't going for any walks or runs. I didn't do anything. 4 or 5 days in, my back felt gross. It felt achy and icky, and I could not get comfortable no matter what position I was in. Everything felt terrible. So I did what I call my spinal reset. This works really well when you have pain from here to here. It works best when there is no specific back problem like sciatica, any discogenic issues, any numbness or tingling in the legs. It really is just a reset for mobility and stability, because when we don't move a lot and work on our spinal stabilizing muscles, those muscles get weak, things start to get twisty in the back, and we just have a hard time finding that good neutral middle ground with stability. So I want to show you what I did. Hopefully it helps you too if you get in the same scenario. Pick and choose which ones work best for you. So what I started with when things felt icky was my handy dandy foam roller. This one I love to put where it goes from left to right. Make sure, people with long hair, your hair is up or you have it supported so you're not strangling yourself with your ponytail. You put it across your spine, give yourself some neck support if you like, and use your legs to roll yourself up and down. Pops and cracks, normal and expected here. Basically, if we've got any sort of twisty vertebrae, this helps to kind of give them that reset with that mobilization. This is not a bad thing to do every once in a while when things just feel kind of icky. Some people foam roll every day. I usually don't. So rolling back and forth. If you feel a tight spot, maybe around that middle of your back, you can hang out here, extend over it, breathe a little bit. Nice big deep breaths in through the diaphragm. Get that extension. And you're keeping it nice and gentle. The nice part here is that you can pick up more weight with your feet, so you can change that leverage on your back on the foam roller and do what feels good. From there, I go into some cat cows. So on hands and knees, don't lock the elbows out. A little bit of soft bend in the elbows. You're going to drop your belly down one vertebrae at a time. Look up towards the ceiling with an inhale, and then exhale, round out one vertebrae at a time and look between your legs. Inhale, drop the belly down, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, round out through the spine, look between your legs. Going nice and slow with your breath, not trying to force anything here. Just being kind and gentle on the body. If it feels kind of icky or painful to go to end range, don't go to end range. Stop just shy of that restriction. If you want, you can add a little extra by thinking about pulling your hands towards your knees without actually moving them when you drop your belly down. When you round out into that angry cat, think about pushing your hands away from your knees. Do a few more here, going nice and slowly with your breath. And then after this next cat pose, come back to neutral. We'll add in some tail wags. So with this, you are inhaling when you're at the center, exhaling, looking over your shoulder at your feet. So you get a little bit of a butt wag there. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, look over the other shoulder towards your other foot. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, look over your shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, look over your shoulder at your foot. Inhale back to center. This one's a really good one to throw in after a long workday of sitting at your desk, or for me at work, sitting on a stool like an idiot. You'd think I'd be better as the posture police, but I am not. Good. All right, coming back to that tabletop position, elbow soft. We're gonna add in some pelvic tilts, moving back and forth between this tabletop position and child's pose. So here I like to start dropping my belly down, putting an arch in my back. I push back to child's pose, and then I round out my spine, tuck my tailbone, and pull back up to tabletop. Drop the belly down, arch your back, push back towards your ankles, round out your spine, pull up to tabletop. Drop your belly down, push yourself back towards your ankles, round out and pull back up to tabletop. Drop your belly down, push back, round out and pull up. One more here, and then we're going to flip it. So now keep that rounded spine, push back towards child's pose, arch your back, drop your belly and pull back to tabletop. Round out, push back to child's pose, tilt that pelvis forward, pull forward. Round out, push back, tilt that pelvis forward, pull forward. Same thing here, you're keeping it nice and gentle. It might feel a little sticky, but it should not feel painful. And one more, pull back up. All right, now I want to shift towards more stability exercises. These first few were meant on trying to get some motion back into that spine. Now we want our deep spinal stabilizers to more or less cement us into that space. That should help to reduce the pain and inflammation as well. So on hands and knees, again, don't lock your elbows out. Keep them a little soft. If you don't like having your palms down, you can also do fists down. Or you can put a towel or a washcloth underneath your fists or inside of your fists to keep them a little bit more supported. Here, I like to do baby bird dogs. So I'm keeping a good neutral spine all the way back. And you're going to think about barely lifting a hand and a knee. Opposite hand, opposite knee, and giving yourself some good time to shift weight between the sides. Here, you're thinking about balancing a glass of water on your back, and you don't want it to twist or spill at all. So you're going to do small motions here. This helps to kick in your deeper abdominal muscles, but most importantly, your multifidi. Your multifidi are little itty bitty muscles that run up and down your spine, 1 to 2 segments at a time. They help with a little bit of extension and rotation, but mostly stabilization. We tend to not use those as much. We like to use the big ropey muscles on either side of our spine for a lot of work, but those don't stabilize as well. So with each lift, you're thinking about exhaling, contracting your pelvic floor and your abs, and keeping it nice and quiet. From here, we're going to lower down to our belly. If you want, you can put a blanket or towel roll underneath your hips. That can give a little bit of extra support. From here, you're going to put your arms out, and we're going to do super women lifts. So here, you're lifting up part way, not all of the way. Think about just lifting up part way, coming back down. Lift up a little bit, come back down. We're going to do just a few with the arms straight here. If you want, you can do a little bit of a leg lift, but not a lot. One more lift here. Good. Take a break if needed. If you're feeling good, we're going into the next one. You're going to do a lift and a row back with those arms. And then come back down, extend the arms. Lift, bring those elbows back. Think about those shoulder blades going partway down your back, like you're trying to put them in your back pockets. If you have a lot of shoulder instability here, shorten your range. Or think about starting with those cactus arms, doing a lift, and then a small pull back. There's no one size fits all exercise, so listen to your body, do what feels good. Ideally, we're keeping a little bit of a chin tuck here, like you're trying to hold a grapefruit underneath your chin. This is working on that good thoracic spine stability, as well as the scapular stabilizers, which all get very, very weak when we are sedentary and we sit a lot because everything is in front of us. Good. From here, slowly roll to your back. And we're going to end with one of my favorite exercises of all time, the bridge. So here, you're keeping a fairly neutral spine. You're pushing through your heels, lifting your hips up to neutral, not as far as you can go, and then you come back down. Think about squeezing your butt just a little bit, lifting up, keeping the pelvis level, come back down. Great to exhale, contract the pelvic floor and the lower abdominals with the lift. Inhale, relax back down. Exhale, contract the pelvic floor and lift up, squeeze those glutes. Inhale, relax back down. Keep going, following your breath. So this is to help with the lower back stabilization and pelvic girdle stabilization. When we were doing the Superwoman rows, that's more for the middle back. Now we're working on the low back. Again, all of these exercises are not incredibly specific. They are a good general reset for when you know you don't have a specific injury or neurological involvement. If these exercises don't get you where you need to be, probably a good time to see a skilled physical therapist to get a specific evaluation. Or if returning to your typical activity seems to not quite get you to that point that you were at before with less pain, also a good time to see a physical therapist. And one more. If things are feeling good, you can do a couple pelvic wiggles here. You can also throw it into the happy baby pose, reaching for the inner parts of your feet or behind your knees. Think about bringing your knees out wide to your side. You can roll a little bit side to side here. Roll to your side and come back up. I hope this was helpful for your generalized back pain. Again, this is not my automatic go-to for every single pain that I have, but for instances where I know I haven't moved in a while and things are starting to feel loosey-goosey and weak and painful, this works fantastic. All it really takes is the 10 to 15 minutes to do this. Maybe you need to go through one more round, and then hopefully you can jump back into the activities you were already doing. Good luck and stay strong and bendy.